Hello guys, this is Jorik. I'm doing this video at the request of Jorge as a part of your Super Saturday training. And first of all, I want to thank Jorge for the opportunity. I can't be there today, unfortunately. I'm leaving later today for a vacation. We're going to take a cruise to Cuba. So I plan on drinking some rum and smoking some stogies, some Cuban stogies. So anyway, I wanted to share with you guys what I've been doing and having some great success at. And I hope that you will take this to heart, practice it, and then take it out in the field and put it into action. The Athene Ascent Bonus 10 2.0 is a fixed indexed annuity that guarantees a 10% growth rate for 10 years. It's guaranteed to double the initial contribution in 10 years, and it's offers for a limited time, because we don't know how long that's going to last, a 10% bonus, an immediate credit on the initial contribution. It is a single premium fixed indexed annuity, so they can't add to it. So it's only for that one single premium. So it's ideal, in my opinion, for those folks that need to roll over an old 401k or pension or whatever the case may be, especially if they're 50 plus, because most of us 50 plus year olds, of course, I just entered the 60 plus club. Uh, and we can't afford another downturn like 2008. And we know we've had 8 years of positive growth in the stock market. And if you've been in the business any length of time, you know eventually the market's going to make a correction. So, and corrections are good. It's just pure economics. It always happens. It's always going to happen. But some people can't stomach it. Some people can afford it, depending on where they are in life. And I think this product is ideal for people minimal age 45. I think the sweet spot is around 50, maybe 55 years old. 55 is the sweet spot because it's 10, and that way they're 65. Of course, it depends on their goal and objective, longevity, and what their income needs are. So I'm going to move right in and pretend that I am making a phone call. First of all, I'm really excited about this particular product because it's a great door opener. It's not for everybody. Nothing is. It is a great recruiting tool, and I'll show you how I do that in my call in just a minute. And I just want to say, one of the things that excites me is because this is a pretty simple product to offer. The paperwork's pretty simple. It's something most consumers would like, not almost, I think all of us would like to have a guaranteed 10% return with no market risk, and be able to predict what our income will be and know we'll have that check for the rest of our lives, regardless of how long we live, and if we're married, for both husband and wife, if they choose that option. So it gives people what they want: good rate of return, no market risk, predictability of their future income, access if they need it, extra 10% bonus, 10% guaranteed for 10 years, and lifetime income. So what could be better? Of course, you have to do this through Crump, and you can get your appointment with Athene if you don't already have it. Athene is real good at training you, teaching you all the different things, helping you run illustrations. They do have the electronic app, so we can protect the environment and not have to be lugging around applications and making sure we have the right application, the right date, and so on and so forth. So I think this is a great opportunity for us. We don't know how long this is going to last, so I would say to you, hit it hard, hit it heavy. Not everybody's going to need it or want it or whatever the case may be, but I promise you it'll open up doors for new associates and cross-selling opportunities. So basically what I'm doing is I'm going through my list of clients, past clients, prospects, and I'm looking at those people that are, of course, in that age. But the reality is, call everybody, because if it's not for them, I promise you there's somebody in their circle, friends, family, co-workers, church members, that have a need for this particular situation. So I simply just call, and I'll just give you an idea. I'll say, I'll call, I'll ring up. Of course, I'll do the brief small talk, and then I'll move right into the presentation or the script, if you will. I don't have a written script. I'm speaking from my heart. I am going to do a written script for those people that need that and need to practice it. But I think if you just do the bullet points and just, depending on your experience level, of course. If you're new, definitely get a script, definitely practice it. I like to say it's like being in a choir. You would not go to church on Sunday to sing in the choir without practicing what you're going to sing. Because tone of voice, voice inflection, all of that stuff that we've been taught is very important. So I want to say this is my first video. If I didn't say that already, not done this before, so bear with me if it's not perfect. There's no such thing as perfect anyway. So I'll simply call and I'll just do the brief small talk and I'll say, "Hey Jorge, I was wondering who you know that might have changed jobs or retired or maybe got laid off and might need to roll over their old 401k, their old company retirement plan. Do you know anyone?" And of course, typically the person will say, "No, I can't think of anyone right off the top of my head." I said, "Well, look, the reason I asked is we have a company that has a new exciting program. I'm going to just give you the highlights. It guarantees a 10% growth rate for 10 years. It guarantees that the initial contribution will double in 10 years with no market risk because it is not invested in the stock market. It also, for a limited time, it offers a 10% bonus on the initial contribution, and once they turn on the income in retirement, it guarantees them a check just like a pension for the rest of their life, regardless of how long they live. And if they are married and want the income to continue until both pass away, the check will continue to come until both husband and wife pass. Can you think of anyone that might have changed jobs, retired, been laid off, or maybe have some lazy money sitting at the bank earning next to nothing that they're going to need for future income that might want to learn more about that? Anyone come to mind? And of course, invariably, people will say, "I don't know, can you send me some info?" Or they start asking all kinds of questions like, "What's the minimum I have to put in? How can they do that? How can they offer a 10% return with a 10% bonus?" Let's see, what are some of the other common questions? I had one guy go, "Yeah, I'll take 10% all day long. Matter of fact, I'll take 7." And let's see. Can I take my money out of my 401k and put it in there? And all of these things, I would suggest you guys maybe get together as a group, role play it, and come up with some of the common questions. Play devil's advocate, if you will, and come up with the questions that you would ask if you are considering this. And if you have money, you should consider it. And then practice those questions. So just about everybody's going to have the same questions, the same concerns, the same cynicism, if you will, and just be prepared for it. Matter of fact, when you know they're going to come with it, the number one thing you've got to be careful of is not answering it before they ask it, because they are going to ask pretty much the same thing. I've had great success with this. I just wrote one on yesterday for 96,500. Wasn't huge, but I did call one lady who is a mortgage broker, mortgage loan officer, whatever they call them these days, who asked me, well, and she was a bit skeptical. She's like most people would be. And she said, "So, could I put my SEP IRA in there?" I said, "Yes, you could." She said, "So you're telling me if I had $500,000 in my SEP IRA, I'd get a 10% guaranteed return for 10 years?" I said, "Yes." And she's about 50-ish, I think early 50s. I said, "Yes, and in 10 years, your $500,000 would be guaranteed to be $1 million, and you get a 10% bonus on that $500,000, so you'd have $50,000 bonus. So in 10 years, your account would be $1,050,000, and then you turn on the income for retirement if you're ready, and you get a check for the rest of your life." And of course, she started asking additional questions. What about this? And blah, 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 blah. And of course, I went into the other thing you really need to be concerned about is that SEP IRA is subject to future income taxes and tax brackets, and no one knows what that's going to be. And I got really concerned. She hasn't returned my call yet, but I got really concerned about what the tax implications are going to be, because who knows what the tax rate is going to be in the next 10 or 15 years. But the bottom line is, I told her one of the other things we might ought to consider doing is seeing if we can convert that to a Roth IRA, or a portion of it, so that she can eliminate taxes on the future growth going forward. And that really got intrigued. So you're telling me I can well, what if I don't qualify for a Roth IRA? See, you don't have to, there are no income limits or any restrictions really on converting an IRA to a Roth IRA, with the exception of you have to pay the taxes on what you convert. So we have to obviously do the math. But the bottom line is this, I left out one important thing when I'm talking to people, and that is, once I finish, can you think of anybody that might want to talk to me, right? Might want to learn more and see if this can work for their situation and benefit them at what they're trying to accomplish, their financial goals and dreams. It's always about them, not about you. So, hey, would you like to sit down and see if this might work for you? Do you know someone that might be interested? These are all of the closing questions, if you will, to get them to sit down and schedule an appointment. I would suggest that you never answer more than 2 questions. If they start asking you questions about the product, never answer more than 2. Answer 1, then close for the appointment. Say, look, that's a great question. Here's the answer. Let's get together and talk about it more, because I know you've got additional questions that you're probably going to want to ask. How about this Saturday after lunch, or would you prefer we wait till next week? And then they'll say, well, look, let me ask you this question. And then they'll ask you another question, and you say, wow, you got some great questions. As a matter of fact, the answer is blah, blah, blah. But I know you're going to have a lot more questions. How about next week? Say around lunch, we maybe grab a sandwich, and while you eat, I'll answer your questions. And if they answer any more than that, just say, look, I've got a bunch of other calls I need to make. I want to get this out. I really, unfortunately, don't have time to answer all of your questions over the phone. Plus, I've got a few things visually I want to show you. Are you open to sitting down and getting your questions answered to see if this might work for you? And if they aren't, say, well, look, I'll tell you what. I'll give you a call back in another week or so, or you can call me if you change your mind. Let's talk soon. Talk to you later. Bye now. And so the other thing, I'll come back and I'll say, oh, by the way, this product is phenomenal. It's the best I've seen in my 21 years. I was wondering if you know someone that might want to earn an extra $1,000, $2,000, maybe even as much as $3,000 a month part-time. That's based on our company average going into this particular program, that might want to earn some extra money part-time. We'll train them, no experience necessary. Can you think of anyone? And then a lot of times they go, well, I don't know. What do they have to do? And then you can say, again, you got some great questions. Let's get together and talk about it. Let's do it. Let's grab a sandwich. I'll buy it. And just go out there. The other thing I would highly recommend you do, plan your calling. I am in the process of adjusting mine. I've been saying I'm going to do 2 hours in the morning, but I found that a little difficult to do. And so what I'm doing is breaking it up 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the afternoon. And, with the way business goes, sometimes that second hour, it's real tough, but at least I get the first hour in, and that's more important. So I hope I've covered everything. I really hope this is helpful. But I think, as I said on the full-timers call this past Monday, we've got 3 basic products that I think are so simple, anybody can do this business. And of course, if we use this, or if you have another favorite fixed index annuity, use it. But how many places can a person get a guaranteed 10% growth rate for 10 years? Know in advance and are guaranteed that what they put in will be doubled in 10 years. Get a 10% bonus, and once they start taking income, have a paycheck for the rest of their life. So therefore, That big concern most people have of running out of money before they run out of life. At least they'll have a check coming in along with maybe Social Security and any other retirement plans that they may have. I'm sure I've forgotten something. I'm kind of doing this impromptu and not using a script or anything, but I've been doing it consistently for the last 2 weeks, and I'm about to get on the phones and do it right now. This is a great jump start and getting me pretty pumped up to get that done. So I hope you guys have a great Super Saturday. I'm going to also talk about how I present the owner versus loaner, which we kind of borrowed from Rich Cunningham, and what I do with the 3 tax boxes. But I want to show the PowerPoint. I don't know how to do that on the video yet, but I am going to try to figure it out. Maybe I'll get 2 computers and put it on the screen. But anyway, that's all I have for now. Again, hope you have a great Super Saturday. Maybe we can even do a webinar where I can be streamed in. So take care. God bless you. Peace out.